Before you embark on your learning journey, it's a good idea to learn how you can navigate through the course interface and make the best use of the available features. When you access a module, you'll first view the landing page, which displays its title and the content structure. You can begin the module by clicking the Start Module button. This takes you to the first lesson. You can also view the content structure for each module in the left panel. Each module is divided into sections, and each section consists of lessons. You can also navigate to any lesson by clicking the lesson title in the menu. Note that you can go through the lessons in any order, and you can revisit them at any point. Keep in mind that to complete a lesson, you must scroll all the way down until you see the button that indicates the title of the next lesson. You can check your progress of the module at 2 levels. If you're looking for a specific topic, you can use the search feature. Videos are played using a custom smart player, which provides several features. The Captions button enables you to switch off or display the captions in one of the available languages. You can also customize the way captions are displayed by clicking on the caption settings. From here, you can increase or decrease the font size of the captions and even choose between different colors and transparency levels for the caption's text and background. If you prefer a faster or slower playback speed, you can change it in player settings. To navigate to other modules in the course, you click the Previous or Next buttons. You can also click the View Full Path button to view all of the modules available in the course. To complete a course, you must complete all of the modules that are marked Required. You're now ready to expand your learning horizons at UiPath Academy. Happy learning!
Leading an automation centre of excellence is tough. Everybody wants their own digital assistant, and naturally everyone's automation idea is quote-unquote the most important. But you know some ideas are better for the business than others. And you're responsible for transforming all these ideas into automations. Not to mention explaining to the CEO what return on investment she's getting from RPA.
So, tell me about this RAP program I'm hearing about.
Understandably, you want to turn those post-it notes, you know, the ones with colleagues' automation ideas, into more than a multicolored mess. Hey, Eric, What would you call a tool to manage the entire automation lifecycle?
An automation hub?
You already know the name.
I do?
He does.
UiPath Automation Hub is where employees connect to drive automation opportunities. It scales your digital transformation initiatives, saving you time and money. Automation Hub includes tools to easily manage your pipeline and showcase your COE to management. Your business users and RPA developers will love Automation Hub, which includes Task Capture, where business users can easily document manual processes just by hitting play. Our CEO loves this because she doesn't lose institutional knowledge as employees retire or change roles. Automation Hub even gamifies submitting automation ideas. Employees can save time automating future projects by storing reusable components. So, what are you waiting for? Bring the right people together to scale your automation program. Get started at uipath.com/automation hub.
Hello and welcome to the UiPath Automation Hub training. Automation Hub is a collaborative tool that democratizes RPA and ensures transparency of your organization's automation program. Automation Hub users can be assigned different permission levels to accommodate various business scenarios and make the most of the platform's built-in capabilities. Each user invited to the platform is assigned the standard user role, by default. However, an admin can remove this role and assign other roles to them. In this video, we will focus on this standard user profile and on what a standard user can do in the platform. Let's get started. Let's begin our tour of this profile with the Explore section. The Explore section has 4 areas, namely Automation Program, People, Components, and Leaderboard. The content in the People and Leaderboard pages remain the same for all the users. However, the content in the Automation Program and Components pages differ based on the categories assigned for each user role. Let's dive right in and get started with the Explore Automation Program page. This is the page that opens, by default, when we click the Explore tab. The Explore Automation Program page displays all the automation ideas collected in the organization, irrespective of their phases they are in, statuses, or submission paths. However, the page does not display ideas that are archived or rejected. Each idea has a corresponding card, which contains the title of the idea, the number of people interested in it, a summary of the idea, and the applications used to perform the process. The card also contains the phase and status of the idea, the name of the submitter, the number of collaborators and followers for the idea, and the automation area. Clicking the card takes us to the Automation Profile page, where we can find all the relevant information about this idea. Alright, let's navigate back to the Explore Automation Program page and look at the other available functionalities. One of the most versatile functionalities in the Explore Automation Program page is the filter functionality. Using the filter, we can narrow down our results based on our selection criteria. Let's use the filter option to find some automation ideas of our choice. Let's choose an automation area and an automation category. We can narrow down the results further by providing the automation subcategory too. We also have the option to filter ideas based on the application used to perform the task, the submission path, the submitter's business unit, and by the phase and status of the automation idea. In particular, the submission path filter allows us to separate the ideas that were submitted by authorized users from those submitted by standard users and those from the process mining source. In addition, we can find citizen developer automations by selecting the citizen developer option. Let's say we want to find ideas in the finance and accounting area that use the SAP S/4HANA application. Now let's click Apply and get the desired results. Alright. The results display all the ideas that cater to the finance and accounting automation area that use the SAP S/4HANA application. In the filtered list, we can easily identify the submission paths of the ideas from the COE-driven or process mining paths by simply looking for the lightning icon in the upper right corner of the card. We can further improve our selection by using the 4 sort options available, or by using the search functionality. All the ideas that have the word invoice in their titles or descriptions are displayed. To clear all the applied filters, we simply click Clear All and remove the keyword from the search bar. This action takes us back to the initial page and displays the entire collection of ideas available. Alright, that's done. Let's proceed to the next option in the Explore menu. People. We are now on the Explore People page. On this page, we find the list of all the people who have activated their accounts in the Automation Hub tenant. We can find specific people using the search option. We can also use the filter option on this page to filter the profiles based on the department, the submitter's business unit, and even the city. For example, let's find all the people from the eTech department. Type the keyword to search, select eTech, and then click Apply. That's it. We see that the results display only the profiles of people from the eTech department. Each card displays the profile picture of the person, if available, the number of collaborations, the number of ideas they have submitted, their name, job title, department, and business unit. We get even more details about the person from their profile page by clicking the card. Here we see the introduction about the person in the About tab, and the badges and achievements earned by the user in the Path tab. We can view their submitted ideas, the citizen developer automations that this user has submitted, as well as the automations in which they are collaborators in the Automations tab. While the Documentation tab enables us to view all the documents uploaded by the user, we can find any components submitted by the user and published on the platform in the Components tab. Alright, we now proceed to explore the third option in the Explore menu, Components. The Explore Components page is a repository that contains all the organization's reusable components. All the components available here have been uploaded by users, approved in the curation stage, and are available for use by other technical users. Each component card displays details such as the title of the component, the number of reviews it had, a summary of the component, its author, the number of downloads, and its type. Let's click a component card and find out more details about it. We see that the profile page of the component displays all the information that we need regarding the component, such as its overview, similar components, the automations that use this component, and the comments and reviews from other users who have downloaded this component. We can download this component by clicking the Download button on the page. Similar to the Explore People page, we can search for and filter components based on the content type, category, and application. For example, let's try to find the components associated with Salesforce. In the Application section, let's search for and select Salesforce, and click the Apply button. The results display all the components related to Salesforce. We can also use the search functionality to find components based on keywords. Great! We'll now explore the last menu item, the leaderboard page from the Explore menu. This page promotes the most active users of Automation Hub and lists them based on their points. By default, this page is set to display users from the same business unit, in this case, product, but we can change it to display all the Automation Hub users from the organization. On the right side of the page, we see the stats of the user, who is logged in together with stats of users with similar activity levels. On the left side, we see the top 10 most active users from the organization from within the selected business unit, or from the organization based on the user's choice. For each user, we can view the number of submitted automation ideas, the number of components uploaded, some of their badges and achievements, their latest status level achieved, and their total number of points earned. Let's now select all units and see how the ranking changes when we consider the entire organization. We can see that the ranking has changed significantly. And in addition to displaying our own stats on the right, we can also see other similar users. We have now reached the end of the video. In this demo, we looked at the content that all Automation Hub users have access to. Any user can access all the automation ideas available, all active user profile details, all published reusable components based on the categories that they were assigned to, and the leaderboard. Thank you for watching.
Hello and welcome back to the UiPath Automation Hub training. In this video, we'll discuss about the detailed assessment of an automation idea. As you know, this step applies for the employee-driven automation ideas. And before getting into the actual process, let's talk about the conditions. First of all, an existing user must be assigned as process owner on the automation idea. They can be nominated by the submitter or by the direct manager. The program manager is also able to make this assignment. Then, the idea needs to be approved by the direct manager. Let's take it step by step to see what happens then. As soon as the detailed assessment is launched, the assigned process owner receives an in-application task and an email notification to fill in the detailed assessment for that specific idea. Let's begin by accessing the invitation link, which will take us to the About page of the automation idea. As the process owner, we need to focus on the detailed assessment section and update these missing details. Let's click Edit and start working. It all starts with the primary reason for automating this process. There are three main drivers for automating any process: to obtain cost savings, to increase the quality, or to increase the productivity. For this demo, we'll select cost saving as the primary reason. The next section deals with the stability of the environment, which is very important in the decision process. This could mean changes in the process or in the applications used in the upcoming 6 months. If major changes are expected on the process or applications, it might be a good idea to postpone the automation or at least synchronize it. We're not aware of any changes, so we'll just use the drop-down list to record this. Let's move on to the employee profile section, where we need to define some assumptions related to the employees performing this process. These assumptions include the average number of working days in a year, the number of working hours per day, as well as the average employee full cost per year. This one is optional, but it could be very helpful in fact because it will allow computing the cost for performing the as-is process, as well as estimating the cost savings. Now we're getting to the process volume tree, which is one of the most important sections in the detailed assessment. We'll start by choosing the process frequency as weekly, then input the activity volume average. In our case, it's 100 invoices matched with the purchasing orders. Next, let's specify how much time it is spent for one matching activity. And you can already see the first automatic calculation done by the algorithm. Next, let us define the error rate at 10% and input the average rework time for each error. We also have the auditing category in this section. Let's enter the percentage of transactions that are audited and the average review time for each of them. And finally, we'll enter the number of employees performing this activity, which doesn't really have an impact in the current calculation, but it may be useful in another stage of the process. For example, if we decide on the use of attended robots, we need to take into consideration the licenses later on in the cost-benefit analysis stage. Notice that the algorithm automatically calculates the total time required to perform this as-is process, the number of FTEs required, and the cost per year for this process. Everything looks good so far. Let's now look at the Process Ways of Working section. Here, we have the option to select using drop-down options whether there are process peaks, the number of steps in the process, as well as the number of ways to perform the process. The next section of the detailed assessment deals with the data input. This is very important because it may have an impact on the automation potential or the ease of automation. So, here we need to reflect the percentage of digital data input, whether we have scanned data input, as well as how much of the data input is structured. Let's now look at the additional information section. These are custom questions added in the admin console. They do not impact the calculations performed by the algorithm, but are important for the decision makers in the organization. In this example, the organization is interested whether we have access to sensitive data throughout the process. Let's consider that we do have access to some personal data, like the full name of the persons involved. In the last step of the assessment, we have to mention the list of applications that are used on performing the process. We can either select them from the predefined options or add applications that are not listed. One important point here is to remember to check this box for the applications accessed through a thin client. This impacts the calculation for the ease of implementation. If we're not sure about the accuracy of any piece of information that we entered, we can always save it as a draft and revisit later to resume the process where we left it. There are other sections, as you can see in here, like the benefits, challenges, relevant media files, as well as the possibility to link to similar automations. But these are not the focus of the detailed assessment step, so let's save them for later. Now let's make a final review of the information that we've entered. Everything looks good, so we can click Submit Assessment. The automation idea will immediately appear in the decision pipeline. Great! This is the outcome of the detailed assessment. You can see that most of the information is visible, with some exceptions. Few sections here, such as the cost per employee, are hidden because they contain sensitive information. Let's now look at this graph, which is a summary of the detailed assessment. It indicates the automation potential for this process, the ease of implementation, as well as the estimated benefits measured both in hours saved in a year and also in terms of cost savings. As you can see, this process doesn't look that easy to implement. It does have some potential, but in order to make a decision, it could be relevant to compare it with the other ideas. To do this, let's navigate to the automation pipeline under the Workspace section, where we'll find the decision pipeline. The decision makers will be able to see in this graph all of the automation ideas that were assessed and now await a decision. In this view, the ideas will be positioned according to their ease of implementation and automation potential. On Hover, we can even see some additional details related to the estimated benefits of each idea, presented as hours saved. Here's the process for which we've just filled in the detailed assessment, and we can identify it also in the table below. By comparison, there are other processes which do follow the same automation goal but promise better benefits. This is why it's very important that the process owner provides accurate information in the detailed assessment form. This way, the decision makers will be able to make informed decisions. And this concludes our demo on the detailed assessment. We've covered the entire process, from launching the detailed assessment, accessing it from the invite, the different parameters to be considered when filling the assessment, and finally, accessing the decision pipeline. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Hello and welcome back to the UiPath Automation Hub training. As a user of the platform, you'll most probably work on different automation ideas or reusable components. Tasks are meant to provide guidance on what needs to be done and by whom in each stage, to keep track of the actions to avoid bottlenecks, and in general to keep the entire process predictable and organized. Keep in mind that the same user may be assigned with different roles on different automations or components, so the tasks received will vary. This demo is focused on tasks in general, how you receive and filter them, how you get all of the details needed, and how you act upon and clear the tasks. Let's begin. Every user can access their tasks from this button here in the upper right of the navigation bar. The view is split into two tabs, corresponding to the status of the task, incomplete or complete. Let's start with the first one. Here, all of the tasks are further categorized into 5 categories: approval of content, generating content, general tasks, reusable component curation, and support tasks. The support category is related to the abuses reported on the platform. In this view, each task appears with its type represented by an icon, its title, the date on which it was assigned, as well as some details about the automation idea or component to which the task applies. These include the name, the phase and status, and the other collaborators involved. Notice that some of the columns have the funnel icon, allowing you to filter the data in the entire table. For each task, there are 3 standard actions available: opening the quick view of the idea, viewing the full profile, and clearing the task. We also have the option to show or hide the columns in this view and sort the list based on the assignment date. If we choose last assigned, the first item in the list will be the task assigned most recently. This option here will control the number of items displayed on the page. And just like many other pages on Automation Hub, this one has its own search functionality. If we use the project keyword here, we'll get many tasks for which we need to assign project managers on automation ideas. Let's now take a closer look at the approved content type of task. This type includes reviewing an automation idea for which the detailed assessment has been filled in by the process owner. This review has to be done by the program manager together with the other decision makers. Another approved content task may be to launch the detailed assessment for an idea approved by the direct manager. Or, if you have direct manager permissions, you may get here tasks related to ideas that were submitted by the members in your team. The second type of task, generate content, is typically assigned to users that have collaborator roles on the automation ideas. For example, if you get access to the cost-benefit analysis page or to the About section, you'll receive a task of editing the corresponding page. As the process owner, you'll get the task of filling in the detailed assessment for the automation idea. Now, let's see how tasks transition from incomplete to complete. Some tasks change status automatically. Let's take the example of this assessment review task. As soon as I open the automation profile, verify it and take an action like approve, the task will disappear from the incomplete tab and appear under complete. Moreover, in this particular case, completing the task has automatically generated a new one, assigning a project manager for this automation idea that has just been approved. Let's see what happens with this task. We open the automation profile page and we assign a project manager. But this time, the task wasn't cleared automatically, so we need to do it manually from the action menu, like this. Now the task is in the Complete tab. Before reaching the end of this demo, let's briefly take a look at the notifications. These are meant to keep you informed about events linked to ideas and components that you're related to, by being the submitter, a collaborator, or a follower. We have a button for those on the navigation bar, which will open this timeline of notifications. We can use the filters available here to display only one or several types of notifications, either related to tasks, automation ideas, or components. If a certain notification contains the name of an automation or of a user, we're able to access either of them directly from the notification. Finally, we have the possibility to mark all of the notifications as read. And this concludes our demo on making the most out of your own tasks and notifications. Until next time.
Hello and welcome back to the UiPath Automation Hub training. In this video, we'll see how a business user can get ready-made automations that can be used instantly from Automation Store. Once we launch Automation Store, we'll see the list of published automations that are ready for use. We can also browse through or even search for specific automations that we are interested in. Each automation card, when clicked, displays the name, the number of downloads, a short description about the automation, number of hours saved with the automation, and the applications involved in the right pane. We also see the option to download this automation. Depending on the configuration in Automation Hub, instead of the Get button, we can also sometimes see the Request button. This happens when the account owner has chosen to control the way users interact with the entries in the Automation Store by choosing to turn off the instant consumption in the Automation Store setting in Automation Hub for all automations. In such a scenario, anyone who wishes to use an automation will need to raise a request for it. Let's now click the Get button. This automation is now directly pushed to our personal workspace in Orchestrator. We'll click OK here. Now let's navigate to Orchestrator. Here, in our personal workspace, we can see that the automation has been added and is listed under Processes. If we have UiPath Assistant connected to this Orchestrator instance, then this process will be pushed to Assistant as well, and we can run it from there. Let's navigate back to Automation Cloud and visit the store again. Now, when we click the automation card, we can see that the Get button is grayed out. This can happen on 3 occasions: when we have already added the automation to Orchestrator, when the link to Orchestrator is broken, or when a user does not have an account in Orchestrator or their personal workspace is not enabled. In the first occasion, the Get button will remain disabled until a new version of the package is uploaded. Also, a helper tooltip will announce that we have already consumed this automation. When a new version of package is uploaded and available, the Get button gets enabled again. We will also receive a notification in our personal workspace regarding the update, following which we can download the automation again. With this, we have reached the end of this demo. In this video, we saw how we can browse the automation store to get an automation for instant use. Thank you for watching and see you next time.